Hi, Sam. Welcome to the Make Life Rich Movement podcast. Thank you so much for coming on. How are you?
I'm so good. Thank you for having me. I so appreciate it. I can't wait to talk.
Yay.
Yay!
I'm really hyped to talk all things about your brand today, but first, I would just love to know how you got started in the beauty industry, the hair care industry. For all of you that don't know, all yous that don't know, Sam created a hair care line called Allyous. It is I'm going to keep it a bit of a secret until a little bit later in the interview because it is special and it is something I'm very excited to talk about. But let's start with how you began your career that led to creating a hair care line.
Totally. So I always say that I grew up in the salon. I started working in the salon when I was 14. It was my first job. It was kind of my only. It's like the only job. Hair is kind of the only job I've ever had. Like one thing or another, just doing something with hair. So I was in the salon for 12 years. I assisted, then I was a stylist and colorist, and I was there for basically like 12, really great, fun years. And then I moved to New York City. I was freelancing for like 6 years. I would do hair, in my apartment, like in other people's apartments, but mostly like in my studio apartment. And while I was doing that, I worked at Bumble and Bumble on the product development team. So that's really how I got, and it was a total dream job for me. Like when people say dream job, like that's was such a real thing for me. Like I feel so lucky to have found, to have had that like really that job that just you feel like just makes your whole life, like it was such a dream job for me. I was part of the most creative, funnest, warmest team, and on my on our team there on product development, we really were really there to conceptualize, launch ideas, and work on actual formula. So that's really how I got to know formula and working with chemists and R&D and everything like that. So it was amazing, but I still did hair on the weekends and at night, and I was there for 5 years. I worked backstage for 10 seasons with the production team and trend spotting and doing, like product testing with editorial stylists. So I really was like squeezed the juices out of that job and got so much from it. And hair has just been my whole life, and working in service really like was such a big part of me, and like such a like working in service really was one of the best teaching moments in 2 decades actually for me. So I just felt like it was time to launch something of my own that was really like an expression of that.
Oh, that is so cool. I'm guessing now we're about the same age because Bumble and Bumble
Yeah, everyone
was
has their
the
Bumble
hits.
memory. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Like I very, very frankly recall so I'm in PR. I'd have to go to New York for all the fashion shows. And I
Yeah.
remember for a solid 5 years there,
Oh yeah.
everyone was getting their hair done backstage by Bumble and Bumble. The
Oh
products
yeah.
were like difficult to get a hold of.
Oh yeah.
So you were really gnawing your teeth in on the hype hit brand at the time to be able to kind of gather all of this knowledge. And for you to be on the trend side of things, I love that a lot. I would love for you to kind of walk us through what that exactly means and how has that helped you to kind of carve out what you are going to do for yourself with your own line, like having that ability to kind of forecast trends in hair.
Well, it was a lot of like what our team did was a lot of competitive research, and then being backstage, it was like, it was so our job to know like what brands were launching in the space, testing formula ourselves and testing them with other Bumble stylists, and just really knowing what was going on, who was launching what, and what, especially like what trends were happening backstage, like what were the looks, is everyone doing slick back hair, like right now everyone's doing slick back hair. Is everyone doing just like slouchy, stringy, really super minimal styled hair? Is everyone hair in ponies and ribbons? Is everyone hair just like, you know, super full of shape and hairspray, you know, and these like crazy silhouettes. So it was just really exciting to see hair trends, and just like we see fashion trends. You know, I'm not a fashion person. Like I'm like I'm like always saying, asking my sister like, what's cool? What do I wear? You know, I'm not that. But for hair, being a part of Fashion Week for so many seasons, like it was just so cool to see how designers express themselves through hair, which is why hair is just so special. And it was always such an important part of the look. So it was just always cool to come back after the season to your team and say, like, you know, this is what we saw and this is what's going on. And maybe, you know, oftentimes it would tie into what we launched, and, you know, definitely informed what the trends were going to be and like what we would launch for sure.
Very cool. I love that, it kind of kept you on your toes a bit. It also, trends change so flippantly, especially when they're attached to fashion as far as hair goes. So I would imagine you ran the gamut of like every possible trend and style there could be. And they do recycle themselves. So did
Totally.
that knowledge kind of lead you to, you know, when you decided that you were going to do a hairline, did any of that information kind of, that was the door slamming, that was scary. Where are we at? 6:25. We'll cut that out. Did any of that knowledge kind of help you to decide what products you knew that you wanted to get in because they were those staple hairstyles and like we'll call hair design that just kept resurfacing over and over again?
If anything, I feel like it was almost the opposite for me. Like I felt like editorial was so, you know, even like in fashion, like you see things that are like just for editorial or just for like the runway, and it's like, what's the pared down like street version of it that like everyone's going to be doing? And I felt like for hair, for me, it was the same thing. Like I knew I really wanted to make products. Like since I can speak like a stylist and really like help and educate people on their hair and their hair health especially, how can I give people products that really, you know, Bumble, it was such a stylist centric brand, like they're, and so stylist led, and it's just the magic of Bumble. But for me, I've always been like not a super styled stylist. Like I don't, you know, I haven't colored my hair in like 10 years, I think. Like I really just have this mousy, you know, color, and like grays coming in, and, you know, can't wait to be full head of gray. You know, I feel like I have a different aesthetic, and I just, my clients always had like a more natural aesthetic when I was doing hair. So I feel like I wanted to really, if anything, it was kind of the opposite for me, because I wanted to be a brand that really gave people products for them, not to create styling products that they could really help recreate their salon experience at home, because I know that's a lot of styling brands, like the gels and the mousses, the pomades, the, you know, the hot tools. Like I felt like there were enough brands doing that, and I wanted to give people products that would really help them not style their hair, actually, the total opposite, really just help them wear their own hair and stop over styling and stop like changing your hair and making curly hair straight or wanting thin hair to be thicker. Like if I gave you these new concepts and introduced you to these new habits and made these products super performers, like with clean ingredients, of course, like that's a whole other thing, but with like the most gentle ingredients and the cleanest ingredients, like could I get people to really love their hair and actually want to just wear their hair instead of over styling, over coloring, you know, and just being a slave to the maintenance of your keratin treatments, your color, your highlights, your balayage, like just all these services, which are amazing and which also express ourselves. So like, you know, that's totally cool too. Like part of me wishes I could just like do like a whole single process, but like I know color and even keratin or perms, like it's totally a way to express yourself too. So I totally get it. But I think I just really wanted to give women a way to finally like care for their hair in a way gentler way and just really embrace their hair and get excited about wearing their hair and feel more comfortable wearing their own hair.
I think you've said a mouthful there because I love the phrase wearing your hair. It's
Mm-hmm.
your hair. Everyone's hair does their own thing. Like
Totally.
this hair was wet yesterday. I put it up in a bun. I let it out. This is what it looks like.
Yeah.
Has no product in it. It's a little
Totally.
foofy and wild, but like it
I'll take it.
works.
Yeah, it
And if I
works.
put a little bit of something in it, just
It
when it's
loses.
drying, it looks
Yep.
like I blew it out.
Totally. There you go.
If I tried to dictate, which has always been an issue with my hair because it's just does its own thing,
Yeah.
it would always look so forced and so
Yes.
silly.
Right.
And I would look like I was trying so hard and I was just trying to fit into these trends that
Totally.
never really worked for my hair. So I
Yeah.
love that you want people to just wear their hair
Mhm.
and that your products are going to kind of just assimilate to what it is that they need for their hair, which is beautiful, all while using clean products. So walk me through the moment that like you decided, okay, I'm starting a hair care line because that had to be a super fun moment. And I would love to hear that core memory because it has to be one that just like lights you the fuck up. Like it's insane to even like, oh, I'm doing a hair care line, but like tell us about that moment. What was that
Yeah.
like for
No.
you?
Yeah. It was. I have to say, like, these moments totally exist, right? When you like start your own business, it's so, and people that, I feel like people that take the leap, they remember these moments because they're so scary, but they feel so freeing. But they feel so scared. I feel like the feeling of feeling free and excited, but the feeling of feeling scared. It's like feeling your feelings at different feelings at the same time is totally a good thing, but it's so many feelings at once. But so I felt for a long time that I was going to quit and start Allyous. And I went on a trip with my husband. We went to Italy, and I remember like being at the hotel and just telling him like, when I get back is when I'm gonna do it. And I had already like I had to really gear up to this though, and I started podcasting like crazy, and like I went through a period for like 9 months where like I would get home from work, work out, do hair, and then I would just read every single book like cover to cover that all the books, right? Like Tim Ferriss, all the books, and Let My People Go Surfing, like any book you could think of that would like inspire you to start a business, like I was reading it, and podcasting like crazy. And I remember this one podcast, it's called How to Start a Startup, and it changed my life. Like I took notes on every single episode, and then after I was done, I like rewrote my notes like crazy. I rewrote my notes like from the first note to the last note, just rewrote everything. And I was like, okay, I think. And then I went on this trip, and I was like, when I get back, I'm gonna do it. And I remember, so I've had two partners with me since, I have four now, but I had two with me since day one. And I remember like Bumble was right in me packing. So there was, we'd always go to like the card store to get cards or candles or whatever for someone. And I remember like going into the Free People right there and calling them, being like, you guys, I just quit. Like, this is crazy. And they were like, let's fucking go. This is epic. Like, thank God for them. I never would have had like the guts to do. I mean, they're just like angels, but oh my God, they were like, we're gonna fucking do it. It's gonna be amazing. Like we got it. And I was like, holy shit, this is incredible. So yeah, but yeah, it definitely, I was like, this is the trip before, this is the quit trip. This is like, I'm gonna go on this trip, I'm gonna come back and quit. That was like the moment for me.
Ugh, that's amazing. And I
Yeah.
think there's always, you are correct. Any entrepreneur that's like really, and also one that's been in a full-time position and then you're like, okay, this is my like FU
Yeah.
moment. I'm out. I'm walking out these doors.
And it was
It's,
hard because I loved my job too. Like I didn't
yeah,
quit because I hated it there and like it was really hard to quit because I
yeah,
felt like I was walking away from like this amazing team and experience and like friends
yeah,
that are people that are like your family, and it was
yeah.
it felt like it inspired me working there inspired me so much that I wanted to do it myself, you know? So it was like, I guess that was it for me. Like, I know people are like, I want to start my own business. You know, I don't want to work for anyone ever again, or I don't want to, you know, I hate like, if they could do what I could do. Like, I felt like I'm so in love with this that like, I want my own version of it. That's really what it
Ugh,
was for me. But I feel super lucky to have had that.
that's really beautiful. And I almost wonder too, because you've been in the industry, this has been the only industry you've been in. You do have a very deep understanding and a long-standing relationship with the industry, and I can imagine that probably led you to a place to where you're like, I'm ready to do it my way. Like I've
Yeah.
done it for a very long time. I know the ins and outs. Like I'm ready to do it my way. So what
Yeah.
was your way? How is your line Allyous different from what you've used in the past? Why did you want to create the company in the way that you did?
Boy, I love this question. Thank you for asking it and letting me blab about it.
Yeah.
Um, I really felt like it was so crystal clear to me. Like I was like, okay, there's really cool brands like Bumble and Way and Arn, like all the legacy, all these like, well, Way is not legacy. Way is like was newer brand then when I was there, but like all these epic stylist led brands that were so creative and innovative. And then there were clean brands, and you know, then it was 2017. So clean hair care wasn't really popping off yet. Clean anything wasn't really popping. People were just starting to hear of like Credo Beauty. You know, you could back then you could say to people Credo Beauty, and still there were people you had to explain what it was. You know, so it wasn't as well known. Clean Beauty was really just starting out, I feel like, and I felt it was so clear to me that there were creative brands that were like super innovative, but still using conventional ingredients and harsh chemicals. And there were clean brands that were clean and safer and better and super great quality, but they weren't like tapping into innovation and creativity. And they were just really launching clean versions of like the current landscape of hair care. So like there were clean which we all need, by the way. Like of course, you know, we all need shampoo and conditioner, right? So like they were launching shampoo, conditioner, clean versions of wave sprays, clean versions of leave-in conditioners, and you know, clean or dry shampoos. And this is all super important and this was all great. But for me, I was like, wait a second. Like, there's other way. People have the same hair woes for years. People have oily scalp, it doesn't change. Dry scalp and dandruff, it doesn't change. People can't grow their hair past a certain length before it gets stringy or breaks, split ends. People have the same hair woes forever. And it's because of habits. And I just thought, like, I just know that I can change people's hair habits if I do it in a super, super fun way that doesn't feel, you know, hair is so expressive and hair is so fun, but it's also really important to trust experts when it comes to hair because our hair and scalp changes at so many times in our life. Like, I'm 9 months postpartum and my hair was falling out and so dry and brittle a few months ago. And, you know, so many of my friends, the same thing. When you go through menopause, it's the same thing. Your hair goes through so many changes. When we go through a hardship in our life, our hair is falling out, our hair texture changes. Like, hair is something to really be taken seriously. And it's not like a category that I feel like now it was a smaller category for a while, and now people are really starting to like pay attention to their hair, which is amazing. But putting great, safe, quality ingredients on our hair is so important because our hair is so fragile. And I felt like if I did this and could bring really fun, playful, friendly concepts to people, they would get excited about taking care of their hair and be doing it's like a vitamin that like tastes really good. You know, like they wouldn't even realize that their hair in like a few weeks, your hair and scalp are so much healthier and more balanced because you're just having so much fun doing it anyway. So I just felt like I could really marry the two. Like I could give people clean ingredients that were super quality, super planty, super packed with good stuff, and also have them be fun and creative and innovative and also, most importantly, like you have my line be inclusive, not just with imagery, like, but actually creating formulas that and concepts like dry shampoo, for example, is not inclusive as a concept. Like people with curly hair just don't use dry shampoo. They really can't use dry shampoo because their hair is dry anyway, and dry textures are not going to use the dry. So for me, that's just one example. But I just thought like people with fine hair are just not going to use a hair oil. It's not an inclusive concept. So for me, I wanted to create super fun, playful products, concepts that people actually got excited about, formulas that actually changed your hair and were actually going to work on everybody, for sure.
That's really fun. I kind of love that it sounds like you led with pain points that you're now just changing from a pain point into, let's make this a new fun, positive habit for you because I am thinking about your hair being too thin for hair oil, your hair being too dry for dry shampoo.
Yeah.
It's really smart from a branding perspective to
Thank
kind
you.
of take this aspect of thinking about what a woman is thinking about when she's
Yeah.
standing in the hair care line and you're like, all right, what thing do I sacrifice today? Do I use this thing that I know is going to give me a dry scalp, but it's going to like help my very unmanageable hair be less like knotty? Do I like weigh down my hair, but like at least I'm not going to have to worry about like the flyaways? There's so
Totally.
many things that no one thinks about on the formulating side, which is what drew me very much when I learned of your brand. I was like, "Ooh, okay, all right, you're really you've been behind that chair. You've heard those woes for sure."
Yeah.
It's very apparent that you 100% took those 18 years in the hair industry and you tucked deeply away every single thing you ever heard about what a woman doesn't like about her hair, you know?
Yeah.
It's beautiful to have that consideration going
Yeah.
into your product rather than, the bottom line and costs and sourcing. So I applaud you for that because not
Thank
many
you.
companies will take the customer's considerations and put them first when
Yeah.
formulating. And that's really cool. Guys, if you're listening, this is a very important differentiating factor for any product, but let alone for you on your personal level of needing hair care. You want hair care made by someone that cares about your hair.
Okay. Thank
It sounds silly to say, but it's even sillier that it's never been a thing that's been considered.
you.
So
Yeah.
thank you. I applaud you for
Thank
doing that for all of us because
thank
we
you.
need someone to care about our hair.
Thank you. I mean, yeah.
Where do you see, um, I guess let's take it back a pinch. So tell us about the name. I'm imagining the name is very much in line with who you were thinking about when making this product, but how did the name come to be? I love the moniker so much. It is so cute.
I love it. I love this question. And this is exactly like the feeling that I get when people, a lot of people say Allyous instead of all use. And like once, when we like super nicely in a, polite way, when we're like, no, it's all use. As soon as they know it's all use, they're like, oh my God, all use. That's how my family used to talk. So that's how
Hmm.
I grew up. So this is exactly the reaction I want from people. And this is like exactly how I want people to feel when they hear the brand. So I didn't get my trademark, which is a great thing. So originally I wanted the brand to be called Beauty and Kin because I wanted there to be a family, like a really strong family part to my brand. I have a lot of cousins. My sister is my best friend. I have my husband, I have my two daughters now. So like but even then, like I'm a super family person and I just knew that like the evolution of all use, it would be, or then Beauty and Kin, like I wanted to create products that really everyone was going to use. So it's just like a blessing in disguise. So I didn't get my trademark, which is totally fine. My LLC is called Beauty and Kin still, so it's fine. But all you, so I for like weeks I didn't have a name, and I just you're just writing everything down and whatever. And so when I thought of Allyous, it was just like eureka, this is perfect. And then the branding just totally flowed and was like, oh my God, I just wanted it to feel like super New York. I'm Italian American. I grew up with a million cousins. Like I said, I'm super close with my sister. Like I am a girl's girl. I want it all used to feel like a pickup game, your favorite cousin, the Sunday paper, your cup of coffee, like a corner store vibes. Like it is everyday people. It is totally like your, I don't know, your favorite group chat. Like it is, I want it to feel like a human, and I wanted it to feel like a human is building this brand. Like I'm building this brand for all use, you know? And I think that is, all use is really a conversation. It's not just about it being a product company. If it were a product, if it was just about that, like we would launch, you know, just like super conventional SKUs. I think the idea behind launching new concepts and introducing people to new cool new ways that are super playful to take care of their hair, it's just like, well, we have to explain them, right? Because like there's explaining to do here. What do you mean a quick clean? Like what's a juice drench, you know? So like that's super on purpose because it should be a conversation. Hair is, there's so much to talk about, you know? And I think, you know, everyone has hair memories. Everyone wants to, you know, change their hair, fix their hair, like figure out their hair, get to the bottom of their hair problems. And working in service for so many years was like one of my favorite parts about doing hair, even more so than creating. I'm not really a creative stylist by any means. Like I don't really have, I really wasn't that. Like I'm just like more simple when it comes to doing hair, but like service was really one of my favorite parts of being in the industry, and it really was a great teacher for me. And I feel like being able to relate to people and connect with people is such a big part of all use too. And I think the name is just something that like really strikes a chord when people hear it. They're like, they think of home or family, especially if you're from the East Coast.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And I do think that once they hear how it's pronounced, like you said, it's like, oh,
Yeah.
okay. So your brand is for everyone. Okay, got
Uh-huh.
it. Love that.
So like we're
Love
with
that.
you now. Yeah. So like, oh,
Yeah.
we're all in this together.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I would love to know quality of the products that you're using are very impressive. Tell me all the things about how you decided what ingredients and the level of quality of ingredients that we're going to go in because we'll all be honest here. It's expensive, guys, to make clean, healthy, safe, keyword safe, because most of the
Totally.
products on the shelves that you're using are not safe. They're
Totally.
just allowed to be there because of bureaucracy. They're not safe.
Totally.
Tell us about the very expensive decision to make your brand a clean, safe brand.
Wow, I am so glad that someone is shedding light on this because it is so important to talk about, like, especially being a small brand. Like, it is so up to big brands and conglomerates to start being clean so that way raw materials can be more affordable for smaller, you know, and so small brands can afford to grow up to be big brands, right? So, besides the cost, it's just like astronomical. But the word luxury for me, like when luxury skincare or luxury hair care, you know, brands decide if they're luxury. And to me, that is so far from like ingredients determine how luxury a brand is or a formula is. And I think positioning on like prestige hair care or mass hair care, like it's just not up to the brand anymore. It's up to the, let me say it like this. It's not up for the brand to use any ingredient, any formula, and just then decide if they're luxury. I think consumers should start thinking of what's luxury by what ingredients are in the formula. So I have the top notch. So I'll just start by saying our formulas are free of sulfates, silicones, parabens, phthalates. They're free of synthetic fragrance. They're free of petrolatum. They're free of all, like a long, long list of not just the marketing claims, right? Like everyone now is like free of sulfates. Everyone's been free of sulfates forever since keratin straightening. But like, you know, and everyone's been free of paraben. I mean, like Lauder was free of parabens when I first started working there in 2013. You know, that's nothing new. So even though it's crazy to think that products still have parabens in them, but it's, these claims are really so entry level. Like being free of silicones and sulfates and parabens and synthetic fragrance at this point, like who is using synthetic fragrance in formulas? So these are so entry level, and I just knew because I was really becoming a clean consumer myself in all categories, especially in cleaning products, like for my home. I was educating myself. Clean beauty founders are so obsessed with ingredients. That's why it's so epic to shop clean beauty, no matter the category, because clean beauty founders are so obsessed with quality.
Mhm.
We're not, at least me, and I know because I know some founders in the space, like we know ingredients. Conventional brands, they don't necessarily know ingredients. You don't have to know ingredients. They're briefing the lab, and their lab is giving them prototypes, and they don't know. Clean beauty founders are obsessed by ingredients, and it's so important because it's our own personal interests. It's not just like we're not just relying on a lab to formulate for us, trying it a few times, and that's it. I'm every single ILN ingredient list that I get, I'm plugging in, even if I already know it, it's going into my little thing that just is formulate, like telling me what score it has on EWG Cherry. It is such an obsession because it's a personal interest, and I just
Mhm.
think that it's so amazing that it's being more people are paying attention to ingredients now, especially like women that become pregnant and then they have babies, and I feel like that's another time in someone's life when they become ingredient conscious, or if you have a friend that's super into it and they introduce you to X, Y, and Z brand and now you're obsessed by it. It's cool that it's becoming such a great conversation now, and it's not about luxury. It's just not about what the brand says anymore. You have brands like, well, I won't say them because I'm not like a brand
We won't get
shamer.
sued. There'll be no suing here for slander.
We won't say the brands. Like, just, luxury is about formula. Like, I don't think of Allyous as a luxury brand at all. Like, we don't have we're not charging $1 million for our products. Like, we have a $30 and under value
Mhm.
proposition. Like, we try to make our brand like super friendly. Like, we're not a luxury brand by any means, but our formulas are beautiful and expensive and packed with like super super amazing transformational fruit, veggie, flour, butters, extracts, oils. Like, it's so important what a brand is free of, but it's so important what a brand is full of. And really, like, what's on the ingredient list? What are you putting on your hair? Because you could be paying $60 for a hair treatment that's full of synthetic ingredients packed. I'm not saying, there are synthetic ingredients that are also clean and we use them too, but like, there's you're paying for conventional harsh chemicals when you could be paying for beautiful, beautiful, clean formulas. Totally.
I will say this. You are luxury. I think you're luxury in experience. You're luxury in the peace of mind that you provide for the person using the product. Like, if I know that I can literally slather my scalp, which is my skin, which is the largest organ on our body, takes like under 25 seconds for your scalp to absorb whatever you just put on it before
Mm-hmm.
it hits your bloodstream, guys. If you're
Mm-hmm.
using drugstore products, something you grabbed at Target, odds are you're soaking up so many chemicals that, let's say, you go away for the weekend, you forgot to bring your clean hair care. You got to take your ass to Target and you're picking up something that you're going to feel and notice the difference of after having used something clean. So sometimes it does take you stepping away and giving a clean product to try to recognize how many of the pain points with your hair are from the products, and it's not your hair. It's
Yeah.
not your scalp. It's not your skin. It's what you're putting on it.
Yeah.
So you are a luxury product because you're providing peace of mind. That
Mm-hmm.
peace of mind goes really far to someone that is aware
Yeah.
that they need to avoid these alcohols, these waxes, these terrible, disgusting fragrances that are
Yeah.
causing, at the very base level, skin irritants. And they're going to dry out your scalp. It's
Mm-hmm.
inevitable. They want your hair to be dry. They want you to overproduce oil. They
Yeah.
want you to need to shampoo sooner. it's a nice little cyclical,
Yeah, it's a nice little
nasty.
system.
Yeah, they they
Yeah,
they know what they're doing. These chemists are formulating for the purpose of you using that bottle quicker. Whereas Sam and Allyous are formulating with not only your hair care and concerns in mind, they want to heal the issues that you have that have come from these disgusting products, which are just naturally going to happen with this
right,
higher source, better quality ingredients. And all the while, you're going to discover what your true hair is because it's no
totally,
longer weighed down with the waxes. You're not overproducing grease anymore. You're not having these scalp irritants that led you to believe you need dermatitis problem. Like you don't. You
right,
just simply don't. So
right.
thank you. You are a luxury company in all regards. And I do really think that the change is coming. It is
Yeah,
coming quickly.
yeah.
And I think you're correct. It starts with moms
Hmm.
becoming pregnant and being like, what the fuck is a flaylate? What? Where? What?
Right, right. Yeah.
Like, why is this in here? Why do I need
Why is
this?
this
It's
in
also
here?
in dish soap. Why?
Right, right, right. Like, why
You
is my
know?
shampoo and my dish soap the same? Right.
The crossover and your branding, guys, we're going to link all the links. You're going to be able to see all of the things. Your branding and the way in which you describe what's in your product and why is so important because, as you said, you either have a crunch, like you have that granola friend that's like, girl, slaps it out of your hand, put that
Right,
trash down,
right.
try this. Like you
Totally.
are that friend. You are that educated friend now
Yeah,
that's going to give both the hair advice because we want our hair to look nice, right?
yeah.
Like Lush was cool when it first came out with those shampoo bars, but they didn't
Totally,
work for
right,
me.
right.
I wanted them too badly, but
I
my
know
hair is
because you
too
wanted
thick.
the stores and the mall and the black and the white and the font. Yeah, right. That
Yeah.
font,
And it
right.
was a cool idea. It was like, you know
Yeah,
what?
yeah,
I don't have to have plastic in my shit.
yeah, yep.
This it grew in a garden, it looks like all the ingredients. But you've made an effective and safe product. So tell
Yeah.
me about what went into the thought process of formulating the products to both be healthy and safe, but effective and still give like, we're looking to look good when we're done doing our hair. So like what went into the process of making it both effective and safe?
Totally. So I know that there is this like pain point in clean beauty that clean beauty, I feel like not anymore. I feel like clean beauty just keeps getting better and better and better. But I know that, especially then it was like, clean beauty. Okay, I want to use clean beauty. I want to use clean products, but they don't work. They don't let, the skincare doesn't last. It falls off my face. My foundation, my eyeshadow, everything falls off my face quicker. It doesn't last. And hair products, they just don't clean. They just don't work. So I totally heard that. And it was super important for me, like as a stylist, to really have products that definitely work and not just work and not just like, okay. Every product that we launch is going to be a super performer. So that is just so important to me because I just know just the way that Allyous is built and being built, continues to be built, is that community and customer is so important to me. And I really want people to not just love it, but be obsessed by it, talk about it the way I talk about it, have the passion to recommend it. And this is what happens with Juice Drench and a Quick Clean. So the formulating Juice Drench and a Quick Clean was honestly one of the best things. I had the best lab ever formulate. I don't use them anymore because they're just too big for me now, and so I use another lab. But they are as amazing and epic and just like incredible. I just have the great vendors. I feel really lucky. But formulating Juice Drench and a Quick Clean was amazing because the product testing at that phase in my life, I was living in the city and I was working from a co-working space called The Wing. I don't know if you remember The Wing, or know The Wing. Some people don't know The Wing, but yeah,
Love the wing.
I know, love The
Love the
Wing.
wing.
So I worked from The Wing, and because I was like, well, this is isolating and really lonely. I shouldn't work from home every day. Let me just join The Wing. This is horrible. Yeah, so this is the worst idea ever to start a business and just be alone every second. So let me join this place. So I joined this place, and thank God, because oh my God, I met the best people. I mean, it was the best experience, right? So anyway, prototypes were with me constantly. So like performance testing is something that I did nonstop. Every redirect, every people saw every version of Juice Drench and a Quick Clean, you know, time after time. Like I can't even count the submissions of Juice Drench and a Quick Clean. Like, and meanwhile, my lab is like, you're the smallest brand in the world. Like, you're only making this how many, and like you want us to be like, you don't belong here. Make them in your kitchen, But like, that's how small. But they were like doing it for me because they so believed in the product, and and we had so much fun formulating them because it was new. It was new concepts, and like they do really big hair care brands, but they make shampoo. So they're like, okay, these are really cool. I really, and we had a lot of fun doing them. And I always say it's such like a romantic time for me to think back to because I would carry products with me like in my bag, and I would give them to my Y7 teachers. I'd give them to people that I literally met like at the nail salon in an elevator. I talk to everyone. So I'm like, I would be like in my workspace, like at the wing or in my old apartment building. And like, if people would walk in, I'm like giving you product to try, like texting you the directions, just met you, what's your number? I'm texting you the directions at the wing. Like everyone was so excited about it. We're like, okay, when's a new submission of Juice Drench? Where's the quick thing? Like everyone from super baby fine hair to coily hair to afro hair to wavy hair to stringy hair, everyone was trying these products. And it was like, I felt like at one point I said to my husband, like, I feel like New York City is product testing with me. Like, it was so amazing because that's how it was. It was everyone I taught, my FedEx girls, my girls at FedEx. I would walk there,
Oh,
freezing cold. They were trying the products. It was like, it was
all
really
use.
all
It
use.
was all
All use.
it was all use.
It was all use. It was like I was slinging these prototypes everywhere. And that performance testing was so important to me. And it was like, it was such a great time, and even developing the fragrance. So we use essential oils instead of synthetic fragrance, and even like just developing the I remember like going out to restaurants and like having them with me, and like whoever my friends was with, like everyone would smell it and try it and give their feedback, and it just was. It was a cool time, and it felt very all used to me, and I didn't even do it on purpose. It felt very like super inclusive. It felt super everyday people vibes. It felt like everybody's in this with me. And like, it was so important for me to have them be these super performers and attention grabbers and products that were really, really like making an impression on people. So,
Yeah. Oh,
and they,
I'm a crier. You got me. I'm here.
oh my God.
I love it. It's so beautiful. I love interviewing entrepreneurs for this very reason because there's a moment to
Yeah.
where you see and feel the momentum, and you
Yeah.
just talking about that just took me there with you, and it's beautiful. It's really
Wow.
fun when you start to feel it to become real and come
Yeah.
together. And
Yeah.
the whole purpose of you starting this was to help people, and look how many people helped you to ultimately help them. It's like
I
so
can't even
beautiful.
tell. It is so, I can't even tell you.
Yeah.
So many people like just for so long when you start a business you're like, and this is my first business, I had no idea. I'm so glad no one told me how much it sucks. But no, I'm just kidding. But no, it's the best thing. It's the best thing. I would, oh my God, I wouldn't have it any other way. But it's so hard, right? So the amount of people that supported me and that literally would send me like videos or content or whatever I would ask for, these silly little things. Like the amount of people that just like support you is just incredible. It's incredible.
It's so nice. I'm so happy you got that for you, Sam, because it can be a very delayed process of kind of feeling that connection with your core customer group. And for
Yeah,
you to have that and for them to be so embedded in the
yeah,
birth of this is just another reason why your company is going to be a very long lasting brand, especially in the category you're in, because of the level of dedication that you went to kind of make it a reality, and all while not cutting corners with your ingredients, and ultimately wanting it to benefit everyone. And that R&D of you just being chatty and making friends and try this, try that, was the most authentic way you could have ever birthed this brand. And I think it's going to speak really really heavily to how successful you're going to be with this. It's
Thank you.
awesome. Big brands couldn't pay for what you did to make this a reality, and I think that's extremely important to point out
Thank you. Thank you.
for sure.
Um,
Tell me about your packaging because it's so cute.
oh
What went
my
into the packaging? What was the vibe you wanted to just present? It's so, I'll let you explain it, but I just love it. It's so cute and joyful.
I'm just so happy that it translates that way. Yeah, because I feel like that's how I want people to feel. I want people to be like, "Oh, I just love it," or "I see my hair in this." So yeah, um,
Yeah.
so one of my good friends drew the packaging. She's an illustrator and she's super talented. And I really wanted it to look playful and friendly. I didn't want like this expensive looking packaging. I didn't want it to look like really stark and serious and even too cool. I was obsessed by saying like I don't want all use is not it's not too cool. It's not like too cool where you feel like you want to be a part of it but you don't know if you quite fit in. Like it's Christmas Eve with your cousins on the couch. The door is swinging open and closed. Everyone's here. Like it is so inviting. And I wanted the packaging to, I wanted the picture to talk to you and speak to you and like grab your eye and make you feel like you see your hair type in the picture. There's lines that are kinky curly, there's lines that are straight and stringy, there's like lines that look a like Cinderella, like a spool of ribbon. It's just like Gus making her dress, or it's just really sweet and playful, the pattern. And I wanted the copy on the front to really like talk to you. Like I used to say in my pitches, like, we make tubes that talk to you. So their juice drench is telling you like when to use it. It's telling you basically what it is on the front of the pack. It's telling you use it while you work out, run your errands, do your laundry, pick up the kid. Like it's talking to you like a human, like your stylist would talk to you, like your cousin would talk to you, like your sister would talk to you. So I wanted it to feel everything from like design to copy that it was your really trusty go-to. I wanted people to feel like they could pick it up and they didn't feel like they were you don't want to finish it. It's like your precious hair product. It's not the precious hair product. It's your trusty like road dog hair product that's gonna like we're with you. Like it's with you.
Yeah.
It's with you. It's like change your hair. It's change your scalp. Juice drenches on your hair all the time, making memories with you. It's like someone texts me, I'm in labor with juice drench. I go, oh my god, is this your second kid or your first kid? I don't know if you're in first labor with like juice drench mask while you're in labor, but like that's what it's meant. It's meant to do your day, live your life with you, change your hair. I wanted the packaging to really look like, yeah, like
It
super friendly
does.
and beautiful.
It translated 100%.
Yeah.
100%. Okay, tell us about each of your products, what they're called, how they use them, and like what's your favorite thing about each of the products.
Ooh, nice. Okay. Thank you for having me. This is like
Oh my
incredible.
God, of
This is like,
course.
it's
This
like
is so
talking.
fun.
Oh my god, it's like getting to like show pictures and talk about your kids. Um, so we have two products. One is called Juice Drench. One's called a Quick Clean. So Juice Drench, I'll tell you about Juice Drench. Juice Drench is, it's in my hair right now. Juice Drench is the anytime, anywhere hair mask. It is. We used to say it's like we still say it, but we're changing the tagline because it's just like so the anytime anywhere hair mask. It's how we animate it and it's how it resonates best with people. But we've always said juice drench is like a green juice for your hair because it is packed and loaded with ingredients that you would find in your smoothie or in your green juice. So like for me, I was a big time green juicer and I wanted to pack juice drench with everything. I wanted people to soak their hair in the most amazing. So everything's in there, right from like spinach, spirulina extract, watermelon and strawberry seed oil, mango seed butter, pineapple fruit juice, coconut oil and water, avocado. Everything is in here. And if you look at the ingredient list, you'll see why it's called juice drench. It's literally this juicy drench that you're soaking on your hair while you do your whole day. So you put it on, you do your whole day, you work out, run your errands, pick up the kids, change diapers, whatever, walk your dog, and do your whole thing and rinse it later. It is meant to not only, like, a lot of people that I talk to like didn't use hair masks because they have healthy hair. They think they don't need a hair mask, or they have repair hair and they're using these hair masks that like work in 3 minutes that are like loaded with harsh conventional chemicals or even hidden complexes technology that's just not necessary. Like, it's just so harsh that it's just not necessary anymore. So especially when plants perform this well, like, and clean beauty performs this well, you just don't need these conventional chemicals anymore. So I wanted a hair mask that you didn't have to wait around in the shower, but also didn't work in 60 seconds because it was super gentle. So Juice Drench is totally that. It is like, get you excited about hair masking. Again, whether your hair is super damaged, it will help treat your hair. Whether your hair is healthy, it will help bring out the best in your hair. It's meant to not just weigh your hair down with a greasy coating and like repair your hair. It's meant to actually bring out your shape and movement and your shine, because those are the things that make your hair look and feel healthy. Healthy hair like moves. It has bounce. It has this buoyancy to it. It has shine to it. Those are the things. Healthy hair is just not coated and limp and flat, and that's usually what hair masks do. So it's a hair mask that's formulated to really bring out the pretty in your natural hair. And people use juice drench. They say, I don't even know that I have this much shape. And I'm like, well, yeah, because you're not using a hair mask that's weighing your hair down. Like, this juice drench is literally bringing your hair to life. And so that's juice drench. It's super special. A quick clean is our answer. If you don't want to shampoo your hair every single time you wash, you want to feel clean, but you don't want to overwash your hair. Because I love shampoo. No one loves shampoo more than me. But you don't want to use shampoo and suds every single time you wash. But you also don't want to use dry shampoo. Because dry shampoo is, even if it's clean, not just aerosol dry shampoos, I hope no one's using those, but like even clean dry shampoos, the habit of dry shampoo is putting powder on top of sweat, dirt, oil, and natural buildup that's already on your scalp day after day. Because dry shampoo habit is like, if you use dry shampoo, use it a few days in a row, not just once, right? So like, it's just day after day, all this buildup. So a quick clean is another way to get your hair clean without shampoo and suds all the time, and it totally replaces your dry shampoo habit. So if you have an oily scalp, if you have a dry scalp, a quick clean is going to be a hero for you. I used to have an oily scalp, so much so that I wash my hair every single day with shampoo. I wash my hair with shampoo now maybe 1 or 2 times a week. I use a quick clean every other time. It doesn't suds, it doesn't foam. You squirt it on your hair, it's fun to use. You squirt it on your scalp right in the shower, massage it in, rinse. It's one step. It's like a quick body shower for your hair. It's like this, I just worked out. My hair's clean, but I just did a sweaty workout, but I want to feel clean. I got to get my hair wet again. I need to rinse off my sweat, use a quick clean. Oh, I have to 3 seconds to shower before I have to run out and drop my kids off at school. Use a quick clean. It is the product that once you start using it, you're so obsessed by it, because it just creates this rinsing habit where you're like, oh, I rinse my hair now. Like, I don't even, I shampoo like once a week or whatever, but like I rinse my hair every day. It is so amazing, and it really resonates with people, because it's almost like the product that you didn't know you needed until you started using it in your routine, and now you're obsessed by it. And that's the beauty of the quick clean. It's the rinse you need in between shampoo days instead of using dry shampoo all the time.
I love it. I'm so excited. It's so
Yes.
smart.
Yes.
I think it's the rinse off for your body, but for your scalp for me is where it's at, because you
Yeah.
do like shampooing for, some people is a chore. For me,
Yeah.
it's a bit of a chore. I've got a lot of hair, not to like
Mm-hmm.
brag or be weird, but it's a process for me. It's not
Totally.
something I gotta really be in the mood to be like, yes, shampoo day, here we go.
Right. Right.
So to have the ability to not only stretch out, really needing to get in there and do a deep clean,
Yeah.
but to be able to still have that clean vibe without having to go
Totally.
through all of that rigmarole is nice. People are gonna love that.
You don't have to gear up for a quick clean day. Exactly. Like,
You're
exactly.
like, stretch it out, get my arms
Yeah. Yeah.
ready. They're gonna be sore. you know?
Yeah. You don't have to like do push-ups before a quick clean.
Yeah, to like get like physical calisthenics in to do it. So what hurdles have you experienced throughout this process of just coming up with these products, the formulations, sourcing materials? I always like to talk about this side of things because I
Yeah.
feel like a lot of entrepreneurs don't really get the opportunity. And when new entrepreneurs try something because they didn't hear this, they
Yeah.
quit. It's not something to
Yeah.
quit over.
Yeah.
It happens, guys. So tell us about what some of your hurdles were.
So I think the biggest hurdle for me was COVID for sure because it really affected my lead times and I was sold out of Allyous for 6 months and I it was just like historically one of the worst times like in the packaging industry. Like all my vendors were saying the same thing, so like, and at being a small brand with my quantities, like my brand was not really a priority. You don't have the best vendors ever, but like, the big brand, if anyone's getting packaging, it's not me, so like I that was definitely like a hurdle for me. And I think awareness, but that's just as far as like supply chain goes and whatever. And another hurdle is raw materials. Like our lead times are longer because our quantities are smaller and we don't have raw material. We don't have this cadence yet where like we are just, we're cranking out like reorders like crazy and we just know exactly what like inventory we're going to need. And we just have this investment in raw materials and we just keep, our lead, we don't have that yet. So like it's coming and it does come as we grow and sell and order more and more. But right now it's like, our lead times are really long. So I think long lead times with organic raw materials, with clean raw materials, they're expensive and they take longer for your lab to like get in. They don't necessarily supply. Like I think we need to get to a point where labs are like clean beauty is all beauty. And these raws are just as mainstream as conventional raw materials. Because, like, why does it take 5 months to get clean raws instead of, but we have conventional ingredients just like at the ready. So I think that's a challenge. Lead times for smaller brands that have smaller quantities is a challenge. And I think a challenge that's showing up for me right now, but I feel like we're moving through it, and I feel like I'm so lucky that the messaging is changing around like founders right now. It's like when we first launched, I'm not an influencer myself, right? And I'm obviously not like a celebrity. Like I'm just a regular person who has a background in this category and who my life is like dedicated at this point to this category. Like it's such a big part of who I am. Mm-hmm. And I felt a really like strong like imposter syndrome. Like I couldn't, like I don't have a following. I don't have this like audience. Like who's going to trust me? Like no one knows me. Like, who am I to even, and it's just like, who am I? Someone that has like a background. Hello. So I just feel grateful now that people are trusting the experts again and going to, that people are really respecting artists again, like makeup artists and skincare, estheticians and hairdressers that are starting these brands. And like, it feels really good to like be a part of an industry where artist founded brands are becoming a thing again. And people are trusting the experts again. They're just not, it's like they're every day there's like an influencer brand that's launching and like, look, I love influencers and we all need influencers and they're amazing humans to like promote our brands. What they're incredible. What influencing has done for every category is so magic. But like, also I'm not a celebrity, and celebrity brands like popping up in the space, it just feels so, it just creates a lot of noise for brands like mine who are founded by an artist, a stylist, and I have something to say in hair and I have a message to spread. And I'm happy, I guess I blab all this to say, I'm happy that people are looking to the experts again and trusting artist-led brands again, because I think it's really important. And it's like we spend our whole life, doing makeup for our friends when we're like 12, or doing haircuts in the closet on your sister's bangs when you're like 10. Like we grew up doing these things that made us who we are. And our brands totally are an expression of that. And I think it's great. It's a good turn, I feel like, that's happening right now.
I love that you said that that was a bit of a hurdle because, uh, a lot of entrepreneurs will create these products. They have the best of intentions. Like what you're making is the best thing that you could possibly come up with because you have the expertise behind you to know what's needed and what's coming in the pipeline in terms of like your trend forecasting. Like you've got all of the P's and Q's all lined up. And I wonder if you know, entrepreneurs start a business, they don't really think about the adversity, which I think is great. I think starting out worrying about who your competitors are is a really quick way to not continue. But
Totally.
I do think it's really important that you were able to go through that apprehension and get to the other side of it
Yeah.
because influencer brands, celebrity brands, we're very well versed now as consumers into understanding that's just marketing.
Hmm.
That's just branding. They went to a house, the house created the formulas for them. The house is a huge conglomerate. They know how to push a product and have it sold off the shelves, but it's typically to the uneducated consumer.
Hmm.
And I do believe that at a certain age, especially in the beauty industry, women can't just throw any kind of chemical or product on their face anymore. They need to think about anti aging, they need to think
Yeah.
about their health if they're going to be having children. So
Yeah.
you are absolutely, and most entrepreneurs that are taking this conscious approach to these product lines and what you're making, you're a niche market in the fact that you are an expert looking for the educated, or you're an expert looking for those that are at the beginning of wanting to be educated. And the minute they recognize that you've got the info they need, they're going to latch onto you like white on rice. Like there'll be
Hmm.
no, you know, differentiating. Like no one's going to run and grab Hailey Bieber's new shampoo line if she makes one
Oh, yeah.
when they're in the position of being like, is
Being that
this eczema,
sugar.
is this dermatitis,
Yeah.
is this psoriasis, what
Yeah.
is this? Oh, I'm allergic to the ingredients in my shitty
Mhm.
shampoo from CVS.
Right.
Cool, I'm coming here to use what you're using. But
Yeah.
there is a moment where as an entrepreneur you do need to break through
Yeah.
that, like, oh no, no one knows I'm here, but
Totally.
those that need you will find you. And
Totally.
then you have that die-hard audience that's going to tell everyone about how your product helped their scalp, it helps their dry time, it
Yeah.
helped their functionality of the design, the style that dries when they're done. Like that speaks volumes beyond any amount of marketing dollars.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
again, you took the time to create products based off pain points rather than marketing like advertisements.
Yeah.
That's where you and all other clean beauty brands are stepping away, and it's only a matter of time before the majority of women 30 plus don't want that. They want to
Yeah.
know more. They're ready for more. Their face and their hair is important to them.
Yeah.
They're going to have to put a little bit of effort in, learn about it. And then once you've learned about it and you've found the brand you like, you're done. That's it.
Totally.
It's like, oh, my
Totally.
work's over here. I know who I'm going to buy
Right.
from now on.
Right. I'm with them now. Yeah.
And
Totally.
you absolutely give, like, from a publicist point of view, in my mind, like you're the perfect hair best friend to have on these
Oh,
morning talk
thank
shows,
you.
talking about the products and showing them why it's so important to just pick one thing
Yeah.
and just swap out the one thing, like give it a go, give it a try.
Yeah.
And once they do, there's only so much that marketing dollars can do that a friendly face that has 18 years in the industry can't beat. You know what I mean? Like you're amazing. Your company's amazing.
Thank
It's
you, my
gonna go so
friend.
far.
Thank you so
Um, the last question that I always ask my guests
much.
is how you make your life rich. So Sam, how do you make your life rich?
I love this question. When I was reading like the question, I was like, wow, I couldn't wait for this question because this is going to sound made up. I'll show it to you. I'm in my daughter's room right now. It's way more colorful than this. This is like the one wall that has nothing on it. But I think I have to show it to you. Can I grab it?
Okay.
'Cause you're going to think it's made up.
Yeah,
Okay, I'll
yeah,
do
go for it. I'm excited.
it. Okay. I I made up this mantra for our family, like when I was pregnant with her, and the first line says, "We are so rich." So one, how cute is this? Someone drew it for us.
Oh my
My
God.
old friends from the wing, actually. So that's the first line in it, and it's so this concept of like having these like rich moments in your life is something that really resonates with me. Um, I really, really try to. I mean, I have a dedicated spiritual practice, and I'm like such a believer in like whether you have like an energy healer or a therapist. Like I'm all about it. I've always, for over 20 years now. Like I've been since I'm a teenager. Like I have really had this like special person in my life, and I the way that I make my life rich is being so intentional about like celebrating. It sounds so simple, but it's if when you do, it just makes such a big difference in my life. I make a thing out of everything. Like if I can celebrate something, I celebrate it. Like for example, so like tonight we have pizza on Friday nights here, and it's like, okay, some Fridays I'm like, let's make it a glitter pizza party. Like and the tablecloth is from Amazon. I'm on Amazon, and like it's Tuesday, and I'm on Amazon at 1 a.m. and I'm like, glitter tablecloth, little fringe for the door. It's like we are making everything a party. My 3.5-year-old like now thinks that everything. I'm like, okay, not everything is a party, but really, it's just this is how impressionable it is. Like every day now, it's like, oh, what are we doing for a party? What's a party? So everything is like a celebration. Whether it's like the first day of school, it's your half birthday, it's your, it's Valentine's Day, like all the little things. Like I love any little thing that I can grab onto to like celebrate and turn it into something like a magic moment or make it a little bit special and a little bit more rich. I am all about that. I'm all about that. So I really try to make things a thing and celebrate as much as I can, especially the little stuff for sure.
Oh, I love that. That's so beautiful and a good way to treasure every day, you know?
Yeah,
It's important.
yeah,
That's
for
beautiful.
sure,
Thank you so much for
for
sharing
sure.
that.
Yeah,
Sam,
thank
you
you
are
for
a
asking.
pleasure. Your
Oh,
brand is amazing.
thank you.
Guys, if you would like to purchase for yourself, there'll be a link in the show notes for that. If you are looking to stock this product in your salon or maybe in your boutique or whatever you got going on, we'll put a link for that as well. And we'll be doing a follow-up reel. The product didn't get here yet. There's a storm coming. It's a whole thing.
The
But
whole thing.
we'll be doing a little breakdown of how to do the juice
Yeah,
drench,
juice drunk buff.
juice drench bun,
Yeah.
which I desperately need. My hair's a little dry with this like current fall change we have coming in. And then all the links that you need to find Sam and learn more about Allyous will be in the show notes. Sam, thank you so much.
Oh
This
my
was
gosh.
so fun.
No, I want to
Thank you
hug.
for
Thank you.
putting, yes, hugs. Thank you for taking the time to put all of your 18 years of experience into a clean, safe, effective hair care line. I can't wait to see what is coming for you. I wish you the very best, and I know that you're going to be a long-standing hair care line that everyone
Thank
is
you.
going to have in their shower. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for
Oh
coming
my
on.
God. Thank you for
Oh,
having me. I
yay.
appreciate you. Thank you.